Abo no sia me ahwefo nyina chi ema makwaba ediba XTV eso enna eyosana bosom ni da toso mienu afimpi mieni edunu mienu no emu emraso sensem a ekoso ye maimo ni amahudo so nsem a ye saka ya boabo ni nyina no sanopa no nsia kase a ye de ebro ewa fidie so efrin camp ni mantemu poko asi festos adun paza building mo sanso sa okopiemu ewa barefoot tintankese no so Facebook eye XTVGH na in some mede bro enano pay edo papa pay ne duma content dia obete ene say Ghana man penny na adeda kwakufado e dia toja say NPP amanyoko no bom humodi no mutimi e break 8 na ebeye achede kase pa e dia mana ebema ne hu se ampa na edwuma wo bedi se man penny wetimi aboa wo man Ghana na e won semfofo mu no nipa wo muto aba na nsen ya egi no se dwunteni e dia ma NPP amanyoko no wono so e dia to wo mu enim ese abra wo modi on fisher maako eduasen wo mu sanso edwune hu biom niema hodo a NPP amanyoko no na ni swage hu ni niema bia wo betimi edwom hu atoso netimi abo amanyoko no wo mu sanso edwune hu ebiom na ewo kaseboye mo eya Sam George wono so edi atoja se maami a wono ene yoso afọ wo hwe nketamde hu nsem so e kamia ese na edwuma na wo ye no wo hu so intimprepre no Sam for a trouble na eni wedi nkuko wedi chopa e wedwuma na wo ye no emu nsem bi ka we hu e na mede bro se anopa no nsia kase e wo XTV eso oba pa me visa ko se ate en medi afi ma metwa ho sima me ba me de kase boy de wo makasa ebemo Nemo akwaba ediba XTV anopa no nsia kase eso na ye hwensem na sedia Ghana mabeni na adodan kwa kufado edanu a womodi omfisha maako eduasa no wode nsem bi atudwade wo kenyina ene se NPP amanyoko no ewom se wono wonto franka biom afimpi mieni edunu nan wongina biom se mampeni de nemo no se NPP amanyoko no wo humode na womo asamba kwa eda omano a womo ka so be break 8 no so mo bom hu na mutimi break padia ebe ya chede kase padia mano ebe ma na hu se ampa wo betna so se mampeni ni wabo edwuma wabo man Ghana so etimi enya ne hu mfaso wo twem se ehu behia pa sa amanyuku no beka wo hu ede abom no mutimi ahwe na nyema hodo a amanyuku ana pese Ghana fo ehia no wo mutimi fa mo mo ne bua wo na mutimi break 8 no.
This is the party that has provided national leadership to deal with difficult phases of our national life. HIPIC, the COVID catastrophe, and will provide the leadership to take us through the current difficulties of the global and domestic headwinds produced by the COVID pandemic and the effects of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We best celebrate our progress by remaining united and resolute as we continue to prosecute our historic agenda to provide good governance and economic development to our nation. And in so doing, we continue to commit ourselves to the protection of the Almighty, whose grace and favor we shall continue constantly to seek, as our battle remains the battle of the Lord's, and we strive to make Ghana, our motherland, great and strong. It's an occasion for wishing all of us a happy 30th birthday, and I want to end by making one appeal to you. I want you to help me achieve the last great political feat of my career in Ghanaian politics. That on the 7th of January, 2025, I'll go to Black Star Square and hand over the baton to our next MPP President of the Republic, who we will have chosen and supported and brought to victory. Victory in 2024. Victory in 2024. That's our goal. That's our task. and that, by the grace of God, we'll achieve. Thank you.
Na mampeni ene wakasa no na wakasa wie pepepe dwumteni edima manyuko ya nanse na mutu aba eyi no eyopeni Steven Ayesu intem wono so edi atoja se ehu behia se prempren amanyuko no obesan so atena se biom no madwene hu biom niema hodo a NPP amanyuko no ewodi woni edi atoso wo mo core value no wo bo hu modin no mo hwe na face no wo mo fa ahofama na edwumaden emfa nya edwumane no ene betumi abo amanyuko no manetimi ebreki.
Today's celebration is marking not only the 30-year journey we have already chalked as a party since 1992, but we also pay homage and celebrate our heroes and heroines since the inception of our tradition. It is they, while others slept, who toiled to bring us thus far. Their names are printed in our indelible memories, and so long as there is a country called Ghana, they will never be forgotten. Let us see these celebrations marking our 30th anniversary or 30 years history as a serious occasion for rethinking and reminding ourselves of the core values of our tradition. We need to educate our teeming young members on the party's core values of sacrifice to seek political power and to govern the country along the ideals and philosophy of our founding fathers, namely Joseph Boachi Dankwa, George Hart Grant, Obechebi Lamte, Edward Akufo-Addo, William Ofori-Atta, Solomon Odampton, Kofi Abrefa-Buzia, SD Dombo, SG Anto, J.A. Brahma, Tolona Yakubu Tali, R.E.G. Amato, and many others, all of blessed memory. And notably amongst them, Ochiame Bafo Akutu. Today,
na chese NPP for womo asida suma ekoso na otwewe ye no mo nsem na yebo ede ama ye mfiri hono ma ni embe piemu e wonkita mudi hu nsem mo na enru ada ebeye na otwewe ye na oswafo no ede nsem bi etu dwade wo kanyina say sim registration no e yade yesaso ede ebe no bi aka ho ede amaganafo na wo kyerem say de ekoso ebe nyina anya ne mfunso ne mo no interior ministry na person national identification authority for no womo eyo masede womo de woso mo hwe no de na adwuma no waye na adwuma no pepepe se ne se fata ankasa na enomo eno mahebedwene edima adehye a womo ewo ningo pampa abato mpeso aso echirem se mama kura ede ne ha no sim registration de ka obetimi aya ene se obeka so mfie mienu afe baako yemfa hwe na Ghana fo nyina ntimi nya adaje no mko register wo sim no na so ene na wo se medibusu mienu aka ho medibusu miensa aka ho medina mienu aka wo chirem se na wo ya de ne kama se Ghana fo nyina ehunu se adwuma na wo ye no wo hu ni tiri ehu ni nan wo hu adwuma ne so nti wa ma se no amafo ene etwa ne ya pia nkasa enye asemketo eyade a wo mo sire ni papa pe yi a bebi obedru bia bebi obeko bia samafo eko efum amafo eko edwa so a obi a nipa wo mo ka ne ho asema eye mami esla owusu ekufu.
This is not rocket science. You get me? This is not rocket science. Look, if you listen to the minister yesterday, and that's what I've said, once again, she set herself up for ridicule and for failure. How? Her directives, her directives are just hot air. It's like a haughty headmistress who is trying to talk down her students. She works for us. She serves us. That's one thing she should bear in mind. She's a public servant. She can't be telling us that she's reluctantly granting us. Reluctantly. Like we care.
You don't?
whether reluctantly or willingly, you will grant us the extension, and you have, up until it makes logical sense. And that's where the question comes. Why should we have the biometrics retaking again?
Why shouldn't we?
Because the NIA has their biometrics. And if you are using the NIA card, which is the Ghana card, all you need to do is query the system using the details that they have entered, and you populate it. But because the ministry is engaged in its own procurement, instead of using the NIA's procurement system, the Ministry of Communication wants to do procurement, and so they've sidestepped an existing platform that the NIA has, which SNIT used recently.
Right.
You didn't hear pensioners being told to go and bring their SNIT cards. DVLA didn't ask drivers to bring their licenses to get linked.
Mashebe Jenny Edima Adishio morning go pram about 1 person so onye Sam George and waka sano na yemfri sansem senyi mu ene yenkopi mu e wonsem foforo mu na otwe mienu ni ko na otwe ba ko ni fanim ene beto oja say hwehwemu bi ababededi say ye hwe enyumeko ahodo institutions ahodo e ba ne kata hye prejum kankan adimudie womo edimu kinkima pa no womo etimi edi chat no edi abadio edikan ne dia otwa to kra womo edi baye na no nkobotwetwe no egusora ekoswam Ghana fo ahodo na nsentwefo ye ne penifo mu nimuden e ba ne kata hye prejum kankan say ye to ase womo nimuden e wa mamu mu ye ne womo twetwe nkomo ebisa womo eden pa ne betimi ayeso oman na kata hye prejum kankan etimi ye betimi to ase kra e wo oman Ghana mu na ne pa ba ko a ye ne ekasa ye executive director wono ene da Ghana Integrity Initiative anom GII wono eye Maami Linda Ofori Kwafo ene wode atoja ese wote yem se nipe abapani bi a wofri aban mu e de atoja se wo hwe charter e ba na nsen ya edane di pefe ese eye presidency honom aban atena ye no eye ade wo bom humodi wo mu ye ne obetumi bi yara e to kata hye prejum kankan ase na so Maami Linda Ofori Kwafo echem se debut wote sa asem na ye ne se papa wo bisa se aban we betena bedwa kase so no eden pa no wetumi aye e de to kata hye prejum kankan ase se na memu ne appointees no se e bete se obi akwakoje ademode bi se e bete se bibi ekoso e wo na memu no eden ya na mu e na wetumi tu Ghana fo betumi di wonder se ampa o mampani na adodan kwakofo ando waka ya se obetu kata hye prejum kankan ase no wo to ase wo twemu se sansem no wote a e ne sire papa pante mraso se Ghana mampani na adodan kwakofo ando ni MPP abe won be sori waka won wetumi ayedu betumi biara e di etu kata hye prejum kankan ase e wo my Ghana ni.
That was laughable, and I'm saying so because when we put all our efforts together, we are looking for only one outcome, that corruption will be minimized. I'm a realist. I won't say corruption will be totally eradicated from any society, no. So then if you put all the efforts put together, the legislation, the institutions, the resources, the men, the capacity building, and even with the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan being implemented for the past 8 years, it's supposed to be a strategic plan for a 10-year period. And we are getting the findings. We just have to go back to the drawing table and then re-strategize. So for me, if you put everything together, the president showing his leadership is whatever it is, he waiting whatever, that's not really matter here. What matters is that Ghana is still having challenges in dealing with the problem of corruption. Unless, of course, you just appeared from the moon yesterday, so you don't know the reality. You can feel it, you can see it. So for me, unless we start seeing the getting the result that we are looking for from the actions and the inactions of the leaders, I wouldn't rate the president the way he's rating him. I would rate the president when I see corruption now, Ghana scoring about 80% on the CPI, and I'll give him 80% for the effort he has put in. For now,
executive director wono eneda Ghana Integrity Initiative ano Maami Linda Kwafo wono Ofori ena wakasa no yento kase no so na yenkopie mu ewo Achim Enyinase Methodist Senior High School no eno ewo Abuakwa North Mensin no emu aba betodwa ese ukopie mu ewo ho no Ghana Education Service for esuku ewo ho JHS School Methodist School ewo ho no ye de credo e de atum se nkola no obi yankofri aden na Ghana na womo echemu se enura dwade na Ghana Education Service for womo ene Municipal Security Council no womo ebetimi atenase no mahwe kwan pa ombefa so no wetimi edi aso o haw biara ewo school ni mo no womo betimi edi aso anom na Municipal Director Edema eye Education eye maame Abena Jamra wono ena wodi atodwa esem eye kitawonsabusum ni de toso edununson edano eye wukwade ya ena ntimamufo bi a womo ewo krom honom omo homodi ekopie mu ewo school mu a ende akyerɛkyerɛfo omo gina kwala nim ekyerɛ omo ade no nkɔgye aba egwa akyerɛkyerɛfo nankasa adan na womo echom sa akyerɛkyerɛfo yi etimi atwen kwala bi aso a kyerɛsɛ enye kwan paso enofa aso etwen womo aso nti womo abom homodi ekogwa akyerɛkyerɛfo ni papa ena mo eno so nti Municipal Security Council ewo school mu ewo eye mensin ni mu esede bi sa akyerɛkyerɛfo omo gina kwala nim ekyerɛ nkwala ade ni wakoba ne set mufo ebebo ire school mu etimi abu omo sei die yo how kese pa nti school dan no ye de credo atum obi an kofi na o mame no papa nko kyerɛ wade kofi na nkonfo na ukɔbɔ omo pa mo bu akyerɛkyerɛfo no wo mo enko kyerɛ omo ade neno ena mame no esa so to aso na wo kyerɛ mo sɛ prepare na akyerɛkyerɛfo no e kam ya sɛ o how kese pa na ato mo afide o duru ho kra wo mo nti ase esa sɛ wo mo ni nda so da sɛ eye timemufo kromofo no ebetimi aye bibia etisa nti wo mo e de atodwa sɛ prepare no wo mo busora eye nsem no mo hwehwɛ mu didindin afide no ba betena se no mo afre awofo ene timemufo ibi opinion leaders a wo mo ewo kronom ne do mo atena se ebisa wo mo de esi party nti am wo mo timi abe school mo akwa be bo eya kyerɛkyerɛfo wo school no wo mo mra na wo mo be kyerɛkyerɛ mo wo mo ekyerɛ mo sɛ emema akyerɛkyerɛfo mema wo mo wo school no wo mo ene edi saa nyeme nyina ye de eye wo mo kyerɛ mo sɛ nyɛ sɛ wo mo bu wo mo kɛkɛ gang no bo mo homodin efo so wo mo sɛ wo mo fa mo kotodwe enfam butu form na sɛ wo mo bu kotodwe nkasa epa nkwala ne kyɛw sɛ mema nkwala me kyerɛ mo ade mo fa nkyɛ me sɛ me bu mo aba na sɛ eye no guase sɛ man kasa ene course so ewo school no wenti no impenifo mo da eye school na no kyerɛ mo sɛ debi we de o mo nwa ne sɛ nambe ehu be hia pa sɛ ye de credo ebetu school no mo ye aye nsemu nyina hwehwɛ mu ewie sɛ ko ba ne sɛ ye mu hwehwɛ mu ewie na ebebie ma school for no asan so akoso na prepare de ukopie mu ewo honom dia ye de credo ato school no mu a enya dia ade kyerɛ nya de sua ekoso ewo honom yento akase no so ne yefa nko wiemu ewo eye aduane ne kwaye ho nsem so wobeka ya enche kra ye no so afo no ene hwe aduane ne kwaye ho nsem so no nyem ni efriye akoto owusu e de aba beto dwase wo bo ne homodin eye beru bi a wode kwa kopie mu e o mahye bedwefi na mahye bedwafo e do musa e be hye ase no wetimi akwa akohwe ese eye commercial banks akodro e wo omega ne mo no wo mo edi eye bisia e be me ekuafo no wetimi edi dwuma netimi aboa na aduane so etimi ebuso pa ewo omega na mu ye nyina ye nim se eba na kwe adwuma wo mo so eboa papa magana ye economy no etimi egina ne nanso emu akodro ekuafo hia wo etimi di dwuma na etimi aboa ye economy ne san so nya aduane edi wo mam no impem bebre no eye a wo mo hia wo mo sa entimi nka ntempa so enu nti onyonyam ne na woda oswaf asoye na no wode atodwa se wo bo ne homodi ye di obetimi biara se woni eye commercial banks ahodo no wonu bekasa na se bank no se ye de eye bisia ebema amanfo a ye hwe se emu ohom chichemu aduno 20% no enko ekuafo enchen no wonfento nema hodo a wombehia ewo mokwa adwuma no emu nanso managing director wono ene da Fidelity Bank ano eye Julian Opuni e de ababeto dwa ese saa na moya opani etui enye no ene betimi aboa Ghana ekwa adwuma wo kyerem se Ghana ekwa adwuma no ohaw bebre ewo hono me wo se wo mo hye ase emfi intene no ansa na po betimi aba ne tire no eso esa ne se de ekoso we ekwa adwuma mu no enye sika keke ene wo mo hia nema bebre ewo ekwa adwuma wo mo hia ne no na wo saka ebetimi aboa mo me ekwa adwuma etimi edimu na Ghana esika sam so etimi akoyi.
Funding money is only one of the inputs to create a strong agricultural sector. And so I think, in my opinion, the conversation is not just about money. So if banks are either incentivized or knocked to do lending to the agri sector, to ensure that that lending is safe, we need to create a stronger agri sector support infrastructure or ecosystem. And so I think that conversation needs to be a lot wider. We need policy to support. We need regulations to support. We need the funding. We need different sources of capital to do long-term support. For instance, if you're going to go into agric and you're going to invest in, Atta mentioned about most deposits are short-term. If I decide to go into mango farming from scratch, how long does it take before I get my first crop? So you need to create patient capital. So it's not the ingredients around that is not just that. We have conversations that need to be had around commercial farming, because I have a strong belief that if Ghana can support policy around commercial farming as a start, which then is supported by some of these outgrower schemes and smallholder farms, we will have a better structure when it comes to supporting the agri sector. And I think those conversations are happening in the background. If I look at commercial farming, how easy is it for you to find 2,000 hectares all together and belonging to one family or chief? So the conversation is a lot more than about the money. So obviously we welcome a conversation. Funding is one of the things. Funding.
Managing director wano Eneda Fidelity Bank ano eyo Penny Julian Opuni wano ena wetimi akasane nti wochiremu wa church ni mahudro wasa aban ne yentimi boa ma epiedwuma no entimi enkon kan ye banga wo ebe mo busia ne nkwan ne betimi ama epiedwuma no edimu ye njina ne nsemisu ne na no pe kasa ye wode ma ono ye mfeni nyina mfesi ameda wasesa wonya brain adaje na wo hwe XTV ya no pa no nsia kase anope se wo hwe me na me ho ye fe boya wo fe pa de ye mfa seda Enfama ya Chichi Beauty Parlor. Chichi Beauty Parlor sebra. No one says you kama enfama sa uti na opese wo ye pedicure manicure sa opese wo ye makeup nso a ukwa ye wedding engagement upo be sisi ho a wo ye home service nso e wo ne ho no nti de hian sa wo be frɛ no ni number ene wo screen so e frɛ no e wo 0547254078 0547254078 Samsung ayet creation so sebra se ukọ baby na ubetimi ubeye ye center of attraction there ayet creation obepa matade fefefa udu hono bia baby says fashion designer anyone ayet creation what's bra opam kwala ne epanifo ma ne memma ne nyina opam bi e wo hono wase se wo pese wo su edwuma so a waye krado se wo be kire wo frɛ no e was 0242389851 0242389851 ano Pedro Gina camera na chi emame DJYX fresh web akope we go pie mu e wo MC a ho so and you try me to mum low abra Bismarck nso etanichi ni kokotrim se nyina go craft so ame no be kinkan edema wo Zenab Ahasa na me kinkan de ma won so bapa Mavis Akosua ate me sorry so ma agudie mo nsam me nua be ma Michael Foriata Mr. What why kind of papa wodi ebro nti mo afidi no enda he ya me da wase emomo enishe